Hello and welcome to the Wellness Web's Practice for Compassion. We're using this practice to cultivate compassion and kindness for yourself, those around you and also the wider society. The poses will be some heart opening, chest opening poses, open up the heart space, and some grounding poses. So we're bringing those prana energies up from the base chakras, bringing them up to the heart center, using that energy to try and expand your sense of compassion and kindness, and then you can take that out into everyday life. So we're going to start off with just some seated warm-ups. So come into your comfortable seated position. You might like to sit on a block or a folded blanket or cushion. I'm sat on a little cushion here. It's quite nice to be able to just elevate your hips slightly so that your knees are not too much higher than your hips. So we'll start by doing some seated cat-cows to bring some space, movement in, and also some space into the chest. So on the inhalation, we're going to come forward into cow, and then exhale, rounding into cat, and just do a few of those following your own breath. In that movement into your shoulders, back, chest and ribs. Then come back to centre. Now we'll extend that movement by, when you come forward on the inhalation, we're going to roll at the same time. So you're rolling forward, exhaling. On the exhale, you're tucking and rolling back. Inhale, forwards, and exhale, rolling back. Just let the movement flow with your breath. You can be free and organic with it. And then take it back in the opposite direction. You can lean further forward, further back. As you get more movement in. And then come back to centre. And then we're going to just do a twist to either side. We'll start by twisting to the left. So right hand to left knee, your left fingertips behind you. Inhale and lengthen up through the spine. And then on the exhale, you twist. And just take your gaze back over that right shoulder. And take some breaths here, lengthening on the inhalation and twisting a little more on the exhalation. It's okay to feel, some challenging in the twist, but don't twist too far. Don't twist to where it becomes uncomfortable. Don't strain your neck back too far. Just sort of take it to the point of resistance and see if you can go a little further. And then come back to centre, and we'll repeat that to the right. So inhale and lengthen, exhale and twist. And you can take your gaze down to the floor, sort of diagonally behind you, so you're not straining your neck back too far. And back to centre. And then we're going to interlace our fingers behind our back, and push your arms, so your arms are straight, you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, back and down, and expanding across the chest. You can raise your chin, you can look up to the ceiling slightly, so you're getting a stretch through your throat, your thyroid gland, and down into that expansion in your chest and heart space. And then exhale back to centre. Now we're going to come onto our knees and do a few kneeling postures. You might want to have a little bit of padding under your knees if you've got any knee issues. We're going to start by kneeling in an upright position with our toes tucked, so heels are pointing upwards, and we're going to do a variation of a camel, which is quite a strong back bend. So we're just going to do a half camel, which is a little bit slightly more gentle, but it's really going to open up the front of the body. So it's one-handed, so we'll start by bringing our left hand down just so your fingertips touch your heel, and at the same time we're raising our right arm and leaning back. Don't crane your neck back too far. You can drop your neck back further if it's okay for you. It's not for me, so I'm going to keep my gaze just sort of to the ceiling in front of me. So inhale and raise your arm, and then find your foot and drop back. Take a couple of breaths, and then raise back up, and then we'll repeat that on the other side. So inhale with the left arm up, reach back with your right, and lean back into that back bend. Inhale up and come back down. And then we're going to reverse that fold. So untuck your toes, and we're going to fold forward into rabbit. So as we fold forward, we'll bring our arms behind us towards our feet, and our head down to the floor in front of our knees. So we're just sort of resting on our head for a moment. So we'll inhale and fold down. Just take a moment to breathe in to the posture. And then sit back on your heels and come back into a child's pose. And rest here for a few deep breaths. And allow the body and the shoulders, across the back and the shoulders, to spread and soften on the exhalations. And then slowly bring yourself back up to seated. Bring your hands to heart center. And just take a moment. Make sure your torso is nice and straight, elongated in your spine. Sorry, I've got watery eyes, so I'm just going to stop myself crying. Take a moment to just allow the breath to settle here. Feel the energy radiating in on the inhalation as the belly and chest rise, let that radiate throughout and soften on the exhales. So it's flowing in and out, expanding, contracting, softening. Okay, now from here we're going to come into tabletop position for a moment, and we're going to tuck our toes, inhale and then exhale and push back into down dog. It's okay to keep your heels lifted and your knees slightly bent. If you wish, you might want to pedal out a little. But what we're trying to do is bringing that chest through towards your thighs, keeping broad across the back. Let your head relax. And then from here we're going to flow forwards into a plank and come down to the floor into a cobra. You can do this as a full plank and then yogi press up, down, lower yourself down, and then through into cobra. Or you can drop to knees and bring yourself down, knees and then chest down to the floor that way. You might want to walk your hands forward a little bit, look forward to your hands, and just roll over into plank. And then lower yourself down. Inhale and lift the chest into cobra. Exhale and lower down. Inhale, lift into cobra. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then move your hands back. Push back onto your knees, tuck your toes, and come back up into your down dog. Feel the connection with the ground through your fingers, your feet, your toes. Feel that energy rising up and down both sides of your body. And then drop down back to your knees into a tabletop and untuck your toes. And then from here we're going to go down into a puppy pose where our heart melting down towards the floor. So you want to bring your hands forward and then bring them forward to the end of your mat. You might need to adjust where you are a bit, and then just bring down. You can rest your head down. You can have your arms stretched out. I found that a little bit uncomfortable on my shoulders, so you can come down onto forearms and just bring your head down towards the mat. On the exhales, try and soften, melt that heart down towards the floor. And then come back up onto your hands, tuck your toes, and come back up into your down dog. On your next inhalation, look forward and step your right foot through to your hands to come up into Warrior One. And then we're going to do a little back bend here, so bring your hands together and just do a slight back bend. And then on the exhale, bring your hands behind you, fold forward into Humble Warrior. Bring your chest down onto that thigh. Inhale, raise back up into the back bend. Exhale, fold down into Humble Warrior. Inhale, back up. And then step forwards into Tadasana. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side. So this time, we're stepping our right foot back. Find your stable position. Make sure your knee doesn't fall in or out. And inhale up. Hands together. On a slight back bend here. Exhale, arms behind, fold forward. Inhale, raise back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, back up. Hands together. Step forward into Tadasana. Bring our hands to heart center. Now, we'll take a moment here to pause, allowing, feeling into the sensations, allowing the breath to slow and settle back down. And maybe think about those intentions of being more compassionate, and the ways in which you can be more compassionate with yourself and others. And then from here we're going to come into a stance, a slightly wider leg stance, but not too wide. And we're going to do a Malasana squat. You've got options here to come down onto a cushion, or if you just want a bit of something, you could come down onto a blanket, or a cushion, probably slightly more, or you could come down onto one or even two blocks and be in a supported squat like this. If that's how you're feeling today, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll come down into full. Just going to take my jumper off. One sec. So otherwise we're going to come down into full squat. So have your feet slightly turned out, hands at heart centre, and then we're just lowering ourselves down into that squat. You'll want to adjust your feet stance so they're the right width apart, and then bringing your hands close to your chest as you can, but you don't want to be hunching. Try and keep your spine nice and straight. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. You'll find it's easier to sink lower than to be sort of squatting here, because that's very tough on your quads. And this way you're allowing the grounding energies, and you can soften into the pose. You're noticing the strength in the body, in the legs, but also with the softness that you're trying to create while you rest here. So it's that combination of strength and finding some comfort. And then from here, if you bring your hands just to the sides, and we're going to just to do an open twist. So put your weight into your left hand and twist, raising your right arm up and look up to the sky, opening up a nice line all the way through your chest and your heart space. And then come down and repeat that on the left. And then lower yourself down to the floor and come into Dandasana, staff pose, seated with your legs out in front of you. Hands by either side of your hips, keeping that length in your spine. And then we're going to inhale, right arm up and bend to the left. Exhale down. Inhale up, bending to the right. Exhale down. Inhale, exhale over. One more on each side. Try and create that length along your side body and your ribs. Giving that space into your lungs. And then we're going to do a forward fold. So we're leaning with our chest, bring our chest down towards our thighs. If you need to have a slight bend in your knees, you can. You'll be able to, depending on you. I have tight hamstrings, so if I keep my legs flat, that's about as far as I'm going to go. If I allow a slight bend in my knee, I can come a little further. But just keep that length, leaning forwards initially on the inhale, and then on the exhale, allow it just to soften with each out breath. See if you can soften down a little further. And then on your next inhalation, slowly bring yourself back up. And we're going to finish with a guided meditation, which is the Buddhist Metta Meditation, the loving kindness meditation. So you might want to try legs up the wall, where bring your, if this was the wall, bring your bum in to the wall and have your legs at the wall. You can be supported under here. Actually, if you've got a chair, you could just have your legs on the chair like that. Or you might want to be in constructive rest. Feet mat width apart, and let your knees just softly come in. And then relax here. You can feel free to have something under your head, neck, back. Or you might like to do this one seated if you've got a cushion or a blanket. It's quite a nice one to do seated, whichever get into whichever posture is comfy for you today. And it's a nice idea to either place one hand on your belly and one on your chest, or you could lightly rest both hands over your heart space. So while you get comfy, so allow yourself to find comfort and ease. You might want to adjust yourself slightly so that you're in the best position for releasing those tensions. Bring our own awareness to the breath, to that ebb and flow of the inhalation, the exhalation, the rise and fall of the abdomen and the chest. Follow your breath into that heart space. Feel the expansion and the softening. And allow your focus just to come into that energy within that area. If you've got any areas of tension, you can send the breath there, and on the out breath use the exhalation to let that area soften and release. So try and let go of any tensions, any preoccupations or thoughts. If they arise while doing this meditation, just accept them, don't judge them, don't attach to them, but just accept them as normal, and have the kindness to just know that these thoughts and judgments that may come up are perfectly normal, and let them go again. So just letting everything settle down. Feel that breath moving through the centre of your chest, in the area of your heart. We practice inwardly towards ourselves to begin with, since we often have difficulty loving others without first loving ourselves. So quietly, mentally repeat slowly and steadily the following phrase. May I be happy, may I be well, may I be safe, may I be peaceful and at ease. Allow yourself to sink into the intentions these phrases express, trying to connect to the intention of wishing ourselves happiness. If any other feelings arise, warmth, friendliness in the body and mind, connect to them and allow them to grow as you repeat the phrases. May I be happy, may I be well, may I be safe, may I be peaceful and at ease. Now bring to mind a friend or someone in your life who has cared for you or that you care for. You might like to hold an image of them in your mind's eye and then slowly repeat the loving kindness phrases toward them. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. Again, feel into the intention, the heartfelt meaning of the phrases. Connect to those feelings as you repeat the words. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. You can now bring to mind somebody else, a friend, neighbour, acquaintance, and repeat the phrases again. Feeling those intentions towards this other person or people. Maybe it's people that you just see in a shop, someone at work. Repeat the phrase. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. Now bring to mind someone you maybe have a difficult relationship with. That could be someone you know, or it could be somebody you've never met, but you just find yourself having negative emotions and thought patterns when that person comes to mind. This can bring up feelings of opposite sensations, emotions, such as anger or sadness. Allow these feelings. They're just signs that your heart is softening. You're revealing what is held there. You can shift your mind to one with more patience, acceptance, and try and muster up the kindness that you can. As you repeat the phrases, may you be happy, may you be well, may you be safe, may you be peaceful and at ease. And then finally, take those feelings and sensations and direct the loving kindness towards all creatures, all living beings, with no judging mind, no distinction, just in the present, with all living beings just as they are. Maybe even to the wider universe. Just radiate that loving kindness out as far as you can. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. And just allow your awareness to focus back on that heart space, on your breath entering and leaving. of rising as the breath enters, fills up that heart space, and it softens and radiates out as you exhale. When you're ready, bring your awareness back to the room around you, to your physical body. You might want to bring some movement by wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe rotating your wrists, your ankles. If you're lying down, just have a little stretch out and slowly make your way, supporting yourself with your hands back up to a seated posture. Bring our hands to heart center, and we'll finish by inhaling out and up, bringing all that focus down into that heart space, collecting all that energy. One more. And then exhale and push it away. Push it away. Radiate it out. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this practice has helped to cultivate a sense of compassion, primarily for yourself. Remember, you need to have self-compassion and kindness for yourself before you can project that out into your everyday life. So take the time to practice self-care, and have a lovely rest of February, and I'll see you for the newsletter session in March. Namaste.